Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brad's Fireside Stories. Come join me. Welcome, everybody. The book I'm going to be reading today is a book written by Barry Albert. It's called Dear Polar Bear. So let's get into it. Polar Bear was unhappy. His igloo was so empty and cold. Brr. Polar Bear thought about his friend Koala, who lived in the forest full of trees and flowers. Maybe he could send me something to brighten up Polar Bear's home. So Polar Bear sat down to write a letter. Postman Penguin came to collect it. A few days later, Postman Penguin reached the forest. Koala was very pleased to have a letter from his friend. "I know how to make Polar Bear feel better," he smiled, scooting higher up into the tree tops to choose a special gift. "Dear Koala, can you help me? My little igloo is all snow and ice, and there is nothing else to look at. Could you please send me a colorful flower to help brighten up my home? Thank you, from Polar Bear." Polar Bear opened up Koala's package as soon as it arrived. To Polar Bear, Icicle Igloo, North Pole, the Arctic. Dear Polar Bear, I'm sorry your home is very empty. I've sent you 2 surprises to brighten it up. Keep the caterpillars in a jar and plant the seeds as soon as you can. Goodbye, Koala. How exciting, he giggled as he read the letter inside. Then he planted the seeds and made a nice home for the caterpillars. Polar Bear's tummy rumbled. He wanted something yummy to eat, but all his food was icy and cold. I know, Polar Bear thought. I'll write to Sun Bear in the rainforest. Maybe he can send me something tasty to eat. And he sat down to write another letter. To Sun Bear, Coconut Forest, Malaysia. Dear Sun Bear, I am very fed up, as you know. All my food is icy cold. It would be nice to have something delicious to eat now and then. Do you think you could send me something? From Polar Bear. Sun Bear was busy eating some delicious honey when Postman Penguin arrived. Cold, icy food? Poor Polar Bear. Sun Bear slurped. I'll send him a special sweet treat. The next morning, Polar Bear had a surprise from Sun Bear. Soft, sticky, honey, yum, yum, he hummed. And best of all, it's not frozen. Polar Bear's tummy was full now, but he wished his igloo was a little warmer. I wonder how Panda keeps warm, Polar Bear said to himself, and he sat down to write another letter. To Polar Bear, Icicle Igloo, North Pole, the Arctic. Dear Polar Bear, try some of my yummy honey. It's the best in the rainforest. I've also sent you some honeybees so you can have a lifetime supply. Enjoy, Sun Bear. P.S. Sorry about the sticky letter. My paws were covered in honey when I wrote this. To Panda, Bamboo Glade, the Great Forest, China. Dear Panda, it is very cold here in the winter. Even with my furry coat, I can't keep warm. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? From Polar Bear. When Postman Penguin arrived, Panda was taking a nap. A letter from Polar Bear? Panda yawned. And he wants something to keep him warm? I've just got what he needs. To Polar Bear, Icicle Igloo, North Pole, the Arctic. Dear Panda, Dear Polar Bear, I'm sorry you are cold. I hate the cold. Inside the box are some silkworms. Feed them. These leaves yawn. Panda. Thank you, Panda. Polar Bear laughed as he opened his present, but then he frowned, looking at the strange creatures. How will these help me how will these help me keep warm? Oh, what am I to do? He sighed, feeling lonely. I wish my friends weren't so far away. Then Polar Bear thought of Brown Bear. She always knows just what to do, and he sat down to write another letter. To Brown Bear, Snowy Mountain River, Alaska. Dear Brown Bear, it's fun to write letters to all my friends, but sometimes I wish I had a friend nearby. I do feel very lonely. What do you think I should do? From Polar Bear. P.S. Do you know what silkworms are for? ? The next day, Postman Penguin found Brown Bear and her cubs playing by the river. Oh dear, said Brown Bear as she read the letter. Polar Bear sounds very lonely. I think he needs a pet. To Polar Bear, Icicle Igloo, North Pole to Arctic. My dear Polar Bear, I'm sorry to hear you are feeling lonely. My 2 babies keep me busy, so I've sent you a pet to look after. Make sure he has plenty of food and clean water. Love, Brown Bear and cubs. A few days later, Polar Bear opened the package from Brown Bear and looked inside. He stared at the fish, and the fish stared back. I'll call you Bubbles, Polar Bear smiled. And I'll get you some fresh water for your bowl, but it was very dark outside. I wish I could see a bit better. Polar Bear squinted. My friend Spectacled Bear can see in the dark. Maybe he can help me. Wait, Postman Penguin, I've got one more letter for you. Spectacled Bear was finishing his dinner when he saw Postman Penguin climbing over the rocks. Dear Spectacled Bear, my igloo is becoming nice and cozy. The only problem is that it can't be very dark, especially in winter. If I light a fire, my home will melt. What can I do? From Polar Bear. A letter from Polar Bear? Smiled Spectacled Bear. He can't see in the dark, eh? I have the perfect present for him. Dear Polar Bear, thank you for your letter. I hope you enjoy your present. Glowworms are excellent lights. Just set them free in your home and it won't be dark anymore. From Spectacled Bear. Polar Bear gleefully tore the package. His igloo sparkled with light. He realized how wonderful his home looked now, and how lucky he was. Now everything is much better, Polar Bear laughed. Ha ha ha. And he rushed to write to his friends to thank them for all their wonderful presents. Postman Penguin came to collect the letters. To Polar Bear, Icicle Igloo. Polar Bear waited and waited, but no letters came back. I think my friends have forgotten about me, Bubbles, he sniffed. Then suddenly, there was a knock-knock at the door. Whoa, a massive crate? Is that for me? ? Polar Bear gasped. What on earth could be inside it? He ran over and opened the box. Surprise! His friend shouted. We've all come to visit you. This is the best present ever, Polar Bear laughed. And you are the best friends in the world. Thank you. Thank you, class, for joining me on Fiery Stories with Bradley.